Coming off a Scotty Scheffler clinic at the Open Championship, we are now here for the 3M science applied to lineups.
What's up, everybody? Ben Rasa here for Stokastic, and this is the perfect lineup. 3M Open Edition, where we take 6 golfers, we throw them into the single lineup simulator, and we try to build out the perfect PGA DFS lineup. We're going to look at the data, we're going to look at the salaries, we're going to try to take down some serious money. Just like last week at the Open Championship, the Stokastic family had some huge hits. I saw a $150,000 takedown by one of our members. Very cool stuff. Let's run it back here. So if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the channel. All things DFS. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's build the lineup. First pick, we are going to the top, but as you can see, this is a weak field because I'm going to Tony Finau. He's sitting at 9,100. Obviously, if you start with him, you're going crazy balanced. He can be your second man in, but I like the spot here. A former winner of the 3M Open. He did flash some form at the Open Championship. If you look and you see the 56th, I don't think that tells the full story. He had a pretty bad weekend. He was up there. Before that, it had been a little hit and miss, but one thing that has been positive for Finau has been the irons. Tee to green is still pretty solid. The putter has abandoned him at some times this year, but he does have some good memories. He really does like this course, and Tony Finau, to me, is one of the golfers. He does have some of that strong course history across multiple tracks. The 3M would be one of them. All 6 of his appearances inside the top 30, including the win, 3 top 10s, 2 top 3s. Good stuff for Finau. He is the first player in the perfect lineup. All right, let's get to the next guy in this lineup, and we're going to the mid-range, and we're going to somebody that was on fire, had one bad tournament, and now I feel like people aren't talking about him. I mean Lee Hodges at 7,700. This was a guy, he was working on 4 straight made cuts. The irons have been unreal. He hadn't lost strokes on the approach since January. He goes to the Scottish Open, and it just wasn't happening. He did not play well. He missed the cut, and that happens. Now, you can say maybe it was the change in style, maybe something in his game happened. I don't really know, but what I do know is I have been buying on this player for quite a while, and I'm not going to let 2 rounds really erase all the good work that he's doing. He still grades out at basically the top of this field in strokes gained on the approach. If you're hitting your irons that well, you absolutely have a place in my lineup. And I just look at this. I think it's a pretty good setup for him. Of course, I'm not intentionally going to just straight winners, but Tony Finau won. Lee Hodges, also a former winner here. That's more of a coincidence than anything else, but it's not a bad thing to see. Maybe we're paying a little tax for it. Lee Hodges bounces back from a blip on the radar at the Scottish, right back in form, right back to success, right in the perfect lineup. All right, final player for me, and I am going to one of my favorite golfers, Benian Bung Hoon An, my guy. He has not been playing well either. 79th at the Scottish, miscut at the Open, 60th at Rocket Mortgage before he went over. But honestly, I'm willing to forgive most of that. Okay, we'll start with the 2 across the pond. I don't really care about that. That is not analogous to what we're seeing here. The Rocket Mortgage is, but he actually played fantastic. He gained 5.7 strokes tee to green. He lost 6 strokes putting. You're going to lose 6 strokes putting. It's not really possible to compete. Now, he doesn't have the course history that the other 2 have, but more importantly than course history to me is course fit. And I look at what Benian does well. He's been strong with the driver all year. He's a underrated around the green player. It's the putting. Can he make enough putts? But we have seen time and time again, average at best putters get hot for a couple days. I will call for Benian to do just that. At 7,200, he makes a great last man in for balanced lineups. He can be your 5th man in as well. A lot of options for us. He is my final pick for the perfect lineup.
So now Ben is tagging me in to finish off this lineup in our single lineup simulator at Stokastic.com. We loaded in Finau, we loaded in Hodges, we loaded in Benian, and that leaves us 8,600 for each of our 3 remaining spots. That's a decent chunk of salary. Thank you very much, Ben, for leaving us some wiggle room. All we have to do is click complete this lineup, and it will fill in the 3 most optimal plays for what we have left. And we're in. Sam Burns at 10-5. We're spending all the way up. We get Akshay Bhatia. We get Bezenhout. This is not a bad setup for $300 left over because we got all the way to the top, but we didn't have to do any crazy dumpster diving. I'm expecting to see a pretty decent output for this lineup, and we can figure it all out right now by clicking Run Lineup Simulation to get the data. And we're in the green. 15% sim ROI, a 0.7% chance to win, 4.8% to be in the top 10, and a 31% cash rate. Now, maybe you don't want to pay up for Sam Burns. Maybe you want to take this a completely different direction. You can do that in the single lineup sim. Delete some of those players, add in your own, run the lineup simulation, and find out how it grades out. But right now, it looks like we built the perfect lineup.